What's up, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Ryan's Travels. I'm Ryan, and I'm traveling. Well, not right now. I'm actually back in my condo here in Pattaya. But for the last month, I've been doing quite a bit of traveling. I went home first to see my mom, and then I went to Chicago for UFC to watch my buddy Drakkar Close fight, and then came back to Thailand. When I came back to Thailand, I got another call from a friend of mine who was fighting in Shanghai. So I decided to hop on a plane and go to Shanghai. And this video is about an episode of things that happened to me in Shanghai when I went there. It's funny to think about it now. I like to think about it as I have these experiences and do these things so you guys don't have to experience them. So let's get right into it. But before we do this, don't forget to click like and subscribe. So let's talk about this. I'm going to call this a Shanghai scam. I'm sure there's many scams out there. I flew into Shanghai and, like I said, went to go see my buddy fight, and I wanted to see, you know, what kind of girls were around there. Why not, right? So I go ahead and I jump on Tinder. I thought that was a legit way of doing things. I went along and, you know, started messaging girls. They all million them right back, and I ended up going out to meet one of them. And I said, hey, what's up? You want to come hang out? Whatever. I said, I'm at my hotel here. We can go to the bar, whatever. And, you know, they said, oh, well, let's, you know, meet over by me because I feel more comfortable, and me being a Western normal man that's not creepy, I'm like, okay, fine, no problem, I'll come over there. I go ahead and I take a cab over to, it's Grab. No, Grab, Bolt, which one was it? Oh, actually used Didi. He used Didi in Shanghai. So anyway, I take a Didi over to where this lady wanted to meet. And so she's like, yeah, let's go have a drink. I'm like, fine. So we go, and I don't drink. Everyone that watches this video knows that I don't. Make her feel comfortable again. So we go, you know, we walk to this bar that she knows of. We go in and we have a drink. And she's like, what do you want? And I said, you know, I'll drink water. And like, you don't drink? No, I don't drink, obviously. So she ordered a glass of champagne. And I'm like, you know, she looked at the menu and she said, can I have this? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? It was like expensive a little bit, but it wasn't like, I mean, for me, compared to America, I don't think it was that big of a deal. But anyway, she drinks it and she's like, oh, you want to get some fruit? So I said, fine, I'll order a platter of fruit. I really didn't look at the menu much because I'm like, whatever, how much is fruit going to be? No big deal. They bring this fruit out and it's actually really good fruit. Watermelon, pineapple, grapes. So she's drinking and I watched her drink and she was like, and I was like, wow, that was kind of crazy. So I said, I'm like, thirsty much, huh? She's like, oh, no, I really like it. And we're talking about her job and what she does. And she says she used to sell cars, whatever, I don't know. Then she's like, have another. I'm like, sure, like, go ahead, right. She gets another one, and drinks another one. I'm like, man, that's pretty crazy. So the alarms are kind of going off in my head, but I'm not really thinking much about it, right? But the other thing, too, is they bring you in. And when you go into the restaurant or this bar, you don't sit like right in the bar. It's going to take you like into a back room or somewhere else. Like there's rooms upon rooms upon rooms. And you don't think much about it because in Asia, there's little roomy type of places like this everywhere all over the place. So it's not like it's a special, oh, we're in like a conference room or something weird, or some back mafia room like in, you know, America or something. And then she drinks another one. And she drinks it fast. I'm like, something's kind of going on here, right? And I'm trying to like kind of get with her and like kind of advance a little bit because I want to see what the real deal is here. And because I want to. But anyway, she says, well, can we get a bottle? And I thought that she meant, if you get like, I don't know how many glasses of champagne are like in a bottle, but there's not much more than like, I think 5 or 6. I mean, depending on the bottle, of course, but you know, it wasn't like a big bottle like this, right? So it was like a normal bottle. And I think there's like, you know, 5 or 6 maybe. I'm like, all right, well, if we already had 3, can't be 2 more for a bottle. You're like, yeah. And I thought what they did was they brought like the rest of the bottle out. Like, can she just finish the bottle? No, they do a whole other bottle. We're still drinking, but she's still drinking, and I'm talking, and I'm kind of like thinking about it. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, like, to be honest, like, this better go much further than this table thing. She drinks the whole bottle. And so she has a bottle and all this other stuff. I look at like the price. First trap here is you need to know the conversion. Like I knew the Shanghai like a little bit, but I wasn't familiar. Like in my head in Thailand, I could figure out the money very quickly. And normally when I go to like a city, I usually find out a common denominator. Like I know for every 100 baht, it's like $3. And that goes up or down based on the, you know, the exchange rate. But in Thailand, 100 baht is like $3, right? And so I do wherever. But Shanghai was a little more difficult. And after I saw this, and I saw the check, I was like, wait a second. So I was like, hey, let's just, you know, get going. Let's go back to my hotel or whatever else. But she was saying, oh, now I'm starting to get a little drunk. I'm like, well, of course you are. You just drank a bottle and all this other stuff. We get the check, and it was a lot of money. Like, it was like, came out to when I did the conversion. And yeah, I know I sound stupid right now. Okay, I get it. But hey, I'm doing this, so you don't have to. So it was like $800, $900. And I was like, that's nuts. I would never do that in America. I would never do it anywhere. And then I look at the bottle, and it was Dom Perignon. and they turn the label away, and they put you in the room by yourself, like with them, so there's no what the hell making a scene. We do the whole thing. I pay the bill, and I'm like in shock. I'm like, I can't believe that I just paid $800 to sit with a girl, and then she didn't even come back to my room. She's like, oh, I'm tired. We'll do it tomorrow night, whatever else. So I'm like losing sleep. I'm like, man, this is just crazy. I decide to get another girl and go back on Tinder. Like, I need to wash this down. This is like making me so mad, whatever. So we go, and then she says to me, oh, let's meet over by me because whatever, blah, blah, blah excuse. And I was like, ugh, I don't really want to meet over there. And like, can you just come over to my hotel area? She's like, well, I don't feel comfortable over going to your hotel. It's our first time going out. And I'm like, okay, I'm only gonna be in town for like one more day. Like, not like we're gonna have a relationship or anything, right? So I'm like, again, I concede, whatever, it is what it is. I go and I meet her over there, and then we go and we walk, we go to a bar. And then again, we walk in and we walk past a couple of tables, and I noticed on one table there's another white guy with a similar type looking girl, good looking Shanghai Chinese girl. And they're doing, I see the fruit platter, and then we go into the back room again. And then that was the first thing. I was like, wait a second, I just did this another place. She's like, oh, can we have a drink? Whatever else. And she opens the thing. And she's like, what do you want to drink? And we do the whole thing, she's like, can I have this? And I was like, yeah, you can have one glass, sure. And then I said I didn't want fruit, but I had to go to the bathroom. So I'll be right back. I go to the bathroom. When I come back, there's fruit on the table. So now I'm like, okay, this is very similar. I'm picking up on it now. So I said, I'm not going to get past 3 glasses tonight with this one, because I just want to see if it's really going to play out the exact same way. And sure as shit, it did. It played out exactly the same way. She drank that one real fast, and then she ordered another one. She drank another one. I said, why don't you slow down? We got a whole night here. We're just going to chill out, whatever else. It's like, oh, it's holiday weekend or something, some BS. I'm like, still with the holiday weekend, you want to make it a holiday weekend, not a holiday hour, right? Because then you get you drunk, whatever else. And I did it with the intent of taking her home, of course, because that's what warm-blooded males do, and that's the point when we go out. We don't go out to make relationships with people in bars and cities we're going to stay in for 2 days. Let's be real here, right? We go ahead, and she goes to the third one. I'm like, nope, you can't have a third one. You can have 2, and that's it. But what I want to know is and I start getting more now I know, and I start getting really, not cocky, I get very blatant. I get very pushy like data. It's like, why don't you just come back to my hotel? Now I want to test it back. Well, I don't want to go back to your hotel yet. I want to get to know you and this, that. And now their game seems really, really poor and bad because now I've picked up on it. I said, well, here's the deal, babe. You're not getting any more money out of me. You're not getting any more alcohol out of me. If you want to just do whatever and go back to my room, that's fine. She's like, I'm not a prostitute. I'm like, I could debate that. I could debate that pretty much any woman is a prostitute going out with a guy for money and then ends up giving sex. That's just the way it goes, right? And so she was like, no, and then obviously her attitude starts changing, and then I go and I tell the lady to bring the check out, and she's like, oh, please, one more, and they keep going. The waitress starts kind of pushing me too. I was like, wait a second. No, that's fine. I'm not going to do this. Just one. And then I give them, I say, this the check, please. And it was not nearly as expensive, of course, because it wasn't a bottle of champagne. I got a lot more wise. What was interesting was happening is every time at the first place, I tried to pay by American Express, because I always pay somewhere out of town for American Express. I always pay by that because in case something happens, the room is not good, if I got to walk out, American Express will always side with you. So if you can go ahead and have American Express Platinum or whatever else, that's what I've always have. Not only getting the airport lounges and everything, but if you have any hassles, if I have to get someone with another credit card like a Chase, I literally have to cancel the card, get a new one. They can't just whatever. Because I think fraud is it's totally compromised. So that ended up being, and I laugh saying this right now in video, it was still over $100 for 2 or 3 bottles, 2 or 3 glasses and the fruit and a bottle of water. It was ridiculous. And then I went back, and I don't know if it was in between the first date and the second date or if it was after the second one, but I went on ChatGPT and I said, tell me about the scams and dating scams in Shanghai. And sure as hell, it says exactly what I just went through. And it says that the girls are in on it with the bar. They do it all together. They scam together. They get a commission for all the money that they can extract out of it. So they're always going to work together to try to get you. My thing is now, so I'm going to tell you guys is, and we went outside and I'm like, now I'm just getting blamed. I'm like, I want you to come back and I want to have sex with you. Because that's what we do. And then I say, in America, I don't know if you've ever been to America. She's like, no. I said, well, in America, that's what we do. That's our customs. I might be in Shanghai, but this is what I'm used to. So if I take a girl out, you have to go. And she's like, well, no, I only do it. I want a boyfriend. And she's like, you can't afford me. And I just started laughing. I'm like, honey, I could buy your whole village. Okay, it's fine. I can't. I'm good, right? I don't make money off of YouTube for you guys need to know. $50 maybe of $10 a month. It's just, I do this for fun. But these girls, getting kind of cocky and trying to like, post up like that, I'm like, no, it ain't going to happen. And I know that what her game is now, and she's basically trying to take my money, and so I have no respect for her. But anyway, it was very funny. That's how it happened, that I found out about the scam. They are in and out together. So if you go to Shanghai, and this could be anywhere, any city, I don't know, but this is my experience here, be very careful, be very vigilant. What I ended up doing was I went to my credit card company. Oh, that's what I meant to say, American Express. Let me go back. So with American Express, they automatically will be like, forget it, and that's fine. They won't mess with your card. I mean, they won't charge you that fee. They'll return the fee back to you. But when I tried to pay with the American Express, which is widely accepted everywhere in Shanghai, everything's like Apple Pay. It's like completely cashless. And what else is really good about Shanghai too is WeChat, you can pay on there. But when I tried to pay with my American Express at both of these bars, American Express wouldn't go through. And they required me to do like two-step verification, like 10 things deep, not two-step, but like four-step verification, because it says that this may be a fraudulent place. So apparently other people that have gone there have experienced the same thing, but with American Express, and they're like, forget it, I got scammed, and then they have a claim against them, so now they're very careful about letting you use American Express. And these people were like, no, you can't use American Express here. I said, fine. So I used the same Chase card. And so that card is now called in for fraud. And I got a new card already, shipped back to Thailand to me. And that was about $1,000 in money that those two bars are not going to get now. They may have been smart, but I win in the end. Thank you. Anyway, so that's the Shanghai scam. Be very careful if you go there. I guess it'd probably be a good idea when you go to a city, since this is a travel channel. And I do this, but I didn't really do it this time. I forgot because I was so sidetracked with UFC and everything else. What are the common scams in the city, in Shanghai that I'm going to, or whatever else? So, and then I'll list it for you. Then you know this beforehand. And honestly, to tell you guys, I'm never on Tinder. I don't do Tinder. I don't do dating apps at all, especially in Thailand. You don't have to. So that's the dealio. So I hope you guys learned from my experience. I hope I've saved you guys some money, or will save you guys money if you ever go to Shanghai or any other city that might have scams. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. I appreciate everybody that watches, and have a good day.